I'm gonna be covering the 3 biggest levers that you can pull as an agency owner. If you're building a lead gen agency, if you're building a social media marketing agency, whatever kind of agency or business you're pretty much building, these are the 3 main things that you can affect to get the biggest returns and actually grow revenue, get really sick clients, get good results, have high profit margins, and just pretty much build a business that functions smoothly without crazy bottlenecks that I see a lot of agency owners struggling with. So here in my screen, we can see a fairly simple and a cryptic, mysterious looking diagram. And we are going to use this to describe the 3 biggest levers. I'm going to explain how each one of those works, what it only means to only have 1 or 2 of those, and what is the effect of having 3 of those, and how we can affect these levers. The first lever you can pull is going to be, of course, your offer. And this is probably something that you have already guessed. By having a strong offer and having a good offer, you are going to make your life 1,000 times easier as an agency owner, because if you have a bad offer, everything else is pretty painful. Things doesn't really work out. You can't really charge high prices. Your price economics don't work. You have a hard time converting people into calls or into clients or getting any kind of interest anywhere. So what does a good, strong offer mean? So it resonates with your niche, how to make sure that your offer resonates with the niche. It needs to target an end desire or a problem that they are right now looking to get or looking to solve. Of course, if you're selling something that the niche doesn't want, it's not really going to resonate. It needs to have the right pain point. It needs to have the right desire. It needs to be communicated in a way that the niche understands it. So for example, if someone would tell me that, yo, I will fix your XYZ database analyst C++ HTML code. If I see an offer like that, I'm like, yo, I don't understand a single word that you said. It also is not going to resonate. So to make sure that your offer resonates, it also needs to be communicated in the exact language that your prospects use and understand. Also, a good offer has working pricing economics. You can have an offer that is super easy to close and you can get sick clients with it, but it can still be a bad offer if the pricing economics don't work. You need to make sure that it's profitable to run, price engages the client enough, it can't be too low, it can't be too high, you're able to get them really good results, etc. So a good offer has good working pricing economics. And usually how we figure out good working pricing economics is you first have a thesis, this price is gonna resonate and work with my offer, and then you run it for 6 months or a year or 3 months and you realize, I actually can't do this if this is my price. I need to change my pricing more like this, or I need to increase my prices so I'm able to actually do this extra service as well to get them better results, etc. So it's a dynamic thing as well. Also fit into another section of the agency. But in my opinion, a strong offer includes a mechanism or a process that delivers results. It can be a really great offer, like I will make you an extra million in 3 days, but if you can't deliver the results that your offer claims, the offer isn't actually really good. You're gonna get a bunch of refunds, you're gonna get a bunch of unsatisfied customers, you're gonna have negative word of mouth working against you, it's gonna compound, everything's just gonna go to shit. So to have a good offer, you also need to have a mechanism or process behind it that lets you deliver results that your offer claims. And of course, there's a million other things, but these are the main things of a strong offer. And in a second, we're gonna get into how it affects the whole equation and what happens if you only have a strong offer. Then the variable Z, purple circle that we have here. So variable C is going to be status delta. So what status delta means? It is the altitude between you and your prospect. It's the things that separate you from your prospect and shows your prospect that you are an expert on this topic. Or let's say you are selling a cold email lead generation service. If you both are at the same level on cold email, you have the exact same skills, experiences, you know equally as much about cold email, it's going to be super hard for you to sell anything. So what needs to happen in order for you to run a good agency and actually be able to run it smoothly and charge high prices, etc., you need to be able to increase your status delta so your prospects see you as this figure of authority. They need to see you as an expert. They need to actually see that you are a credible source to work with, because otherwise you're not really gonna be able to work with the best of the best companies and charge the crazy high prices that you want to be charging. And what affects status delta? So first of all, if you have case studies, it shows the prospect that you actually know what you're doing. Your background, so what have you done in your past life? What is your story? Presentation, how you present yourself. If you're always super sloppy, if you have a crazy scruffy beard and your hair is always fucked up and you're just wearing clothes that look like they came out of the garbage bin, and if you're taking your meetings and recording your VSLs in your garage, all of that stuff is gonna lower your status delta. Your presentation needs to be good and show that you are a professional who knows what they're doing and that they can be trusted. And then also on status delta, things that perceive, clear experience and in-depth knowledge. You need to be able to show your prospect that you actually know in depth what you're talking about and that you actually have experience about doing it. So for example, if I was here on my YouTube videos talking about some dumb stuff, clearly it's like beginner level information. Like let's say I started this YouTube channel, I had never ran a business. I go there and I read a few books about business and I would start preaching about business information that I have read in books. Everyone would immediately see that I don't know what I'm talking about. So my content wouldn't resonate. So you need to be able to prove through your speech and through your content that you actually know what you're talking about and that you know actually how to do this stuff. And there's of course millions of things on Status Delta, but case studies, your professional or life background, how you present yourself, and are you clearly experienced and have in-depth knowledge in the topics. And then things like follower count and testimonials, they also affect it. If you go on social media and you see someone talking about business and they have 5 million followers, you're probably gonna think that they are an absolute genius. You're just gonna assume that they are a clear expert because they have a lot of followers and that's why people follow them. In some cases it's not true, but those are the things that affect Status Delta. And then last thing that affects this diagram and this equation is going to be volume. So the volume and energy that you put into the system to actually get customers. How many emails you're sending, how many follow-ups you are doing, how much are you cold calling, how much are you spending ads, how much content you are creating, pretty much all the energy that you put into getting more clients. And these are the three things. And this is fairly simple. Cold email, cold calls, follow-up, content creation, advertising, etc. Pretty much your inputs. What energy are you putting into the system to actually get the results that you are looking for? Until this point, this video, this has been fairly simple knowledge. These are the three main biggest levers you can pull. You can have a better offer, you can have better Status Delta, and you can have volume. If you just take one of these things and you start focusing on making it better, you're 100% going to see an increase in your income and in your revenue. No doubt about it. But it gets a bit tricky. So what happens if you only have one of these things? For example, let's say you only have a strong offer and nothing else. That's the only thing you have. You're not doing a lot of volume and you have no Status Delta. Nothing is really gonna happen. If no one sees your offer, let's say you're sending 10 emails a day, your offer might resonate with some people. They see your offer in your email and they're like, this is interesting. And they go check your VSL and yeah, that's interesting. But because the amount of people getting exposed to your offer is super low, so you need a high amount of those people to convert. And because if you have zero Status Delta, you are pretty much gonna convert no one. Let's say you send an email to 100 people and 5 people of those get interested. And from those 5 people, they all check your VSL, they all check your landing page, they all check your LinkedIn, they all see that you have no Status Delta. You don't have a background that proves that you're an expert, you present yourself fairly badly, you don't have any case studies, you have no testimonials. Because of that reason, 3 out of those 5 people, they are not interested. So 2 people hop on a call from 100 people. You reached out to 100 people, 5 people got interested, 3 people were like, fuck this dude doesn't know what he's talking about, and 2 people hop on a call. For you to actually see any kind of success, you need to close pretty much both of those clients or even one of them. But if you have no Status Delta, it's going to be super hard. You're going to show up to the call, you're going to be looking all sloppy and they're going to ask for case studies. You're like, yeah, I don't have any, and they're just going to look at you like a dork. And then if you have the basic 20% closing rate, that is the industry average, you're not going to close anyone. So you're just going to be taking meetings and meetings and meetings. You're not going to have enough of people interested because you have no Status Delta and you have no volume. And then only a small percentage of people are going to hop on the call. And then those people, they're not even going to get interested. They're not even going to buy because they don't see you as an authority. Like if they don't see you as an expert and an authority in the topic that they need help with, they're not going to buy it. So if you only have a strong offer, you're going to have the best offer in the world. But if you have no volume and if you have no Status Delta, you're pretty much going to go nowhere. Everything is going to be super hard. You are going to move extremely slow. It might take you a year or 6 months to sign a client, and the client you sign, they're not even going to pay you much, and it's not going to be even a great client because you don't have enough of Status Delta to sign a great client. So that is why you can't have only a strong offer. Let's say that you have a lot of Status Delta, and this is also a common situation that I see a lot. Someone might be a G, they might have a crazy ass background, they might be super professional, they're super well presented, they might have a case study from something that they have done before. But if you don't have a strong offer or you have low volume, once again, nothing is really going to happen. You might be able to close a client or 2 in a long time frame just because they see you as an expert, but again, you can't charge them a high price because you have a shit offer. You probably are not going to deliver them good results because you don't have a good offer. You probably are not going to be super profitable because your offers, pricing economics haven't been well thought out. And because you have no volume, it's going to be super slow. Companies, once again, that you're going to close are going to be small companies, bad quality clients, bad results, small prices. Like you can charge someone $500,000 just because your Status Delta. They say like, okay, this guy probably knows something. Like he has to know something because he's clearly an expert at something. But his offer is whack. I don't want to buy it. We'll just pay him a small amount just to see what he knows. Then because you have no volume, it's going to be super slow. But if you have a lot of volume, volume, you're doing bunch of cold emails, bunch of cold calls, bunch of follow-up, bunch of content creation, bunch of advertising, you're just doing everything a lot, but you have no status delta, you have a bad offer, you might be able to reach out to a lot of people, but only a super small percentage of those people are even going to look at your website or even consider hopping on a call with you because they don't see you as an expert and they don't want what you buy. So even if you reach out to 1 million people, you might get lucky and book 5 calls from 1 million people. Only having a lot of volume is not going to get you anywhere. What if you have a strong offer and a lot of volume? This is the point where a lot of people start out from. They might have a strong offer, they might have the work ethic to do a lot of volume, but they have no status delta because they don't have any case studies because they're just starting out. This is a way better situation than just having one. One of the points where a lot of people start out from. What happens if you have a strong offer and a lot of volume is your, for example, outbound like cold email booking rates will be okay and your closing rates will be okay and you'll get objections about trust and credibility that you can't fully handle. If you just have a strong offer and a lot of volume, you are able to compensate for the lack of the case studies and lack of the credible background. Let's say that your booking rates are 0.25% on cold emails. So you need to send 400 emails to book a meeting. And yeah, let's say you had strong status delta, maybe you would only have to send 150 or 200. But this is pretty great. Yeah, we're gonna have less meetings, and when we go to those meetings, we're gonna get hit with sales objections that pretty much question our credibility and our status delta. Can I see some case studies? Can I talk to your previous customers? What makes you credible to talk about this? I think we have to think about it because they don't trust you. We're gonna get hit with those things, and there's not many things that we can do to combat those. Of course, there's always objection handlers and things that you can make better in the process, but there's gonna be things that we can't affect. We can't give them a customer of us that they can talk to because we don't have any. We are just starting out. So we need to do more. We need to hop on more calls to get the same result that someone else needs to do who already has status delta. So you just need to realize that in that situation, when you are struggling to charge high prices or you're getting hit with a lot of sales objections that you can't handle, it is because you don't have a lot of status delta. You can affect it. You can do these other things. Plus, over time, if you just deliver a good service, you will get the case studies. And then you will also start filling this purple ball, and this whole thing is gonna get way much stronger. Okay, what if you have status delta and you have strong offers? You're a clear G and you have a great offer. In this case, things can work out really well if you have referrals or you are like a massive person. You're like super fucking good. Everyone sees you as a crazy expert if you're like one of the best. But in a lot of cases, things are just gonna be really slow. You need to take on bad clients and projects, and your business won't be super profitable. It's gonna be slow because if you're not doing a lot of volume and if you have a low volume, you're not getting as much things in the pipeline. Let's say you're sending 5 emails a day, doing 5 cold calls or doing a little bit of content on the side, things are gonna be slow. You don't have that much opportunities coming in their pipeline. There's not gonna be that many people interested in your stuff. Second thing, you need to take on bad clients and projects because you don't have the freedom to choose from a lot. Let's say you only reach out to 5 companies a day and you get 5 calls a month. You don't really have the freedom to choose from all of these companies. You really pretty much have to try to close everyone you can because you don't have options to choose. And also your business won't be super profitable. You don't have that much negotiation power, so you need to sell for lower prices. Let's say you have 5 calls a month, one person doesn't buy, boom, you just lost 20% of your opportunities. So you don't have really much room to negotiate. You need to take a lot of bad deals. You don't have the freedom to choose. Also, you can't test your pricing that much because you don't have that many shots. You can't take that many different shots, so you can't test that much with the pricing. You could maybe charge double your price, but you can't afford to test it out because if you lose 1 or 2 deals because of your pricing has changed, it's gonna cost you too much money. And you just have status delta and volume. This is super rare. I really rarely see this. And then if you only have a lot of credibility, you have a lot of status delta, people see you as a prospect, and you have a lot of volume, you're going to close clients, but they are going to be not that profitable. Your results are going to be bad, and negative word of mouth will compound against you, lowering your status delta. A big thing that can happen is if you have bad offer and you have bad mechanism and bad process to deliver results, you can do a lot of volume and you can close clients because of your credibility. They're gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, this guy is a G. He isn't really selling what we want, but he probably knows his stuff. Because you have a lot of volume, you have a lot of opportunities to test. You're probably able to close like really nice pricing, but you're not gonna get good results because your process isn't well thought out of. They're gonna have wrong expectations. Your clients are gonna be unhappy. You're gonna be working with a lot lot of projects that you don't want to be or you shouldn't be working with. Plus, negative word of mouth will start compounding against you, because if you get bad results for one client, it isn't as bad. But if you get bad results for 10 clients and the time goes on, it's way worse. It compounds. It's an exponential growth. And then let's say you get bad results for 100 clients, that like destroys you, because then one person says something and the other people start talking about it. Like it just compounds and compounds and compounds, and everyone slowly starts explaining how bad you are. Then that negative word of mouth that compounds against you is going to destroy your status delta, and you're going to be left with only volume. In a lot of these cases, if you only have two, you're going to be pretty screwed. If I would have to pick a scenario where you only have two things, I would 100% pick strong offer and a lot of volume without the status delta, because here you still can compensate and still grow way faster, because you're able to get a lot of clients, you're able to get a lot of feedback, you're able to get a lot of insights, you're able to get a lot of calls, and then it's just up to you on getting better skills and getting better results for your clients and doing the hard work to get good results, and then filling out the last circle that you're really missing. And you can also affect this by just being a fucking G on camera or on calls or on your content. The thing that you really want to aim at when you're building an agency, a lead gen agency, SMM agency, whatever it might be, is you need to have all these three. You need to have good case studies. You need to have a solid background. You need to be presenting yourself professionally, or at least in a way that it resonates with your audience. You need to be producing content and speaking in a way that proves that you actually know what you're talking about. You need to have a good offer. You need to go through a lot of feedback loops. You need to test your pricing. You need to have good pricing economics. You need to test what the pain points and what end results resonate with your niche. You need to have a good mechanism and a good process to deliver results. So you need to be getting good results. Plus, you need to have volume to actually get enough of opportunities in their pipeline. You need to be doing a bunch of cold email or a bunch of cold calls. You need to follow up with your prospects often and well. You maybe even are creating some content down the line, maybe doing some paid ads, but whatever it might be, you need to have all these three to really, really run a good, sustainable agency. And of course, if you're just starting out today, or you just started out 2 months ago, you won't have all these three things. This takes time. And because it's super good and a super profitable situation, of course it's gonna take time. If it was easy, if someone could do it in a month, it wouldn't be special. No one would want it. No one would need it. It's gonna take 6 months, 12 months, even for some people 2 years, 3 years. But then when you hit it, that is going to be amazing. What happens when you actually get into this situation? When you have all of three things locked down, you're first of all, you are going to be making a fuck ton of profit. Your pricing economics are going to be really great. You are able to really pick the big clients that you want to work with. And you have already mastered your service delivery process, so you're able to really crush those client results profitably out. Second thing, you can choose who you work with. If you hop on a call and your prospect is an asshole and you're like, I don't want to work with that dude, then you don't have to. You have the opportunity to choose. You have a full pipeline. Then what's going to happen? You can charge fuck you prices while getting fuck you results. You're going to charge a lot of money for your services because people see you as an expert, plus you have really good results, plus you have a lot of volume. So if you have 20 calls or 30 calls, you can give them a fuck you price because you know that you have enough of calls to close enough of deals. There's 30 calls, I only need 3 more clients, I only need to close at 10%. So I'll just raise my prices to the roof because 10% is going to buy anyway, or it's going to be super likely that 10% buy. And the last thing is going to happen is you are going to scale to 6 figures a month and your life is going to look amazing. When you have all of these 3 things locked down, your business is going to run extremely smoothly. Of course, there's other variables, operations, team, hiring, culture, lead flow, all of these things. There's going to be a bunch of other things. But when you are able to maximize these 3 levers, if you're just able to do them a bit better than everyone else in the market, you're going to be living an amazing life. You're going to be running a sick business. It's going to be profitable as hell. You don't work with bad clients. You are getting good results. Your life is going to look amazing. If you are in a situation where you don't really know, okay, like, I don't know if I have this, I don't know if I have volume, I don't know if I have status delta, I don't know how to go about this, how do I actually get all of these 3? What if I only have 2? What you can do is you can right now go to agencyvelocity.io. It is our consultation company. We have worked with over 200 lead generation agencies, helped them scale from $0 to $10,000 a month, 90 days, and then of course to like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, even $100,000 a month levels. And when we work with our consulting agency, we make sure that you have a strong offer. We literally show you exactly what to offer, how to run it, how to position it, how to find out, and how to tweak it. We also help you get sick volume. We show you how to do cold emails, cold calls, content, advertising, all of that stuff. So we are going to make sure that you have sick volume, and we're also going to show you how to get as high status delta before you have case studies. And then when you get case studies and get good results, we're going to show you how to create the case studies, how to film interviews, how to put them on your VSL, how to put them on a landing page, how to distribute on social media, how to use them on cold email. So we're pretty much going to ensure that you have all of these 3 things in the next 6 to 12 months, so you're able to live that amazing life and scale to 6 figures a month or whatever your goal is. You can 100% do it alone, but if you don't have a clear roadmap, it's going to take more time. Time is the most valuable asset because it's the most scarce thing in the world. You can never get more time. There's always more money in the world, but there's never more time for you. So if you want to save some time, if you want to save the most scarce asset in your whole world, and you actually want to make your dream come true by working with me and my team, go check out angelvelocity.io. The link is also the first link in description. Go through, we have a free training there, a presentation. Go through it, and if it still after that makes sense, go ahead and book a call with me or someone from my team. If you qualify, we'll let you in and we start absolutely ripping it together and start perfecting these 3 levers to get you actually to this point when all of these 3 things come together and you are just living your dream life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you drop me a like. And if you have already seen 2 or 3 of my videos and you're digging what you're seeing, go ahead and click subscribe. That also helps me a lot. If you have any suggestions what I should make videos about, what I should change, if you have any questions that came from this video, scroll down to the comment section and write me a comment. I spend every day a bit of time replying to my comments. It has been a pleasure, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.